I think that's more in the hands of, all the individuals involved. It's not something I really think about. I have my reunion monthly, and everybody does exactly what they're told, and George's draws them really pretty. So it could. I mean, it's been lovely, the response. Been nice to get people into the comic book stores who hadn't been reading before. It's been nice to have, a top book up there that isn't Marvel or DC. Not that I have anything against those guys. It's just, I like to open the playing field a little bit. So this has worked out really well as a comic, but also, in the industry. That's my favorite part.
I've been a Buffy fan since it first came out, and I was like in middle school. She's just a really strong, great role model for women out there, and especially I was around her, like the age she was supposed to be in the show, so I really liked that her kind of little dilemmas kind of paralleled what I was going through, but not obviously to the extent of monsters and vampires and so forth.
Well, Drew Goddard and I wrote a horror film called The Cabin in the Woods. That's been greenlit at MGM, and so we're going to start working on it when he gets back from his vacation tomorrow. And he'll be directing it, and I'll be producing it. And we'll start sort of pre-prep right away and start prepping it in the fall.
Ability to use science fiction and fantasy, and separately and be good at both of those things at the same time. A lot of science fiction writers are really only good at writing science fiction, and a lot of fantasy writers are really only good at writing fantasy. It seems that he's, King Midas. Whenever he touches something, it turns to gold. If he wants to write science fiction, if he wants to write a musical, DrHorribles sing-along blog, it doesn't matter what he does, it's always good.
We do have Goners, which is still something I'd like to do. Right now, my whole universe has been shaken up a little bit. First by Dollhouse, which really came out of the blue. I had no intention of doing television again, but have lunch with Eliza, and you find yourself promising a lot of things you didn't expect to. And then DrHorrible has really taken off and really shown not just the community but the creators that this is a viable way of doing things, and possibly even a profitable way, we're hoping. But it's been such a joy just to make something just bang. DrHorrible's sing-along blog is an internet movie that we made, me and my brothers and my brother's fiance. We wrote it during the strike as something to do that was a little bit different, and then we rolled it out on the internet in 3 acts last week, basically, and now it's available exclusively for download on iTunes. I always like to mention that. And it's it's the story of a supervillain trying to make his bones in the world. He's not getting a lot of respect. He's kind of lonely, and he blogs a lot, and he sings. It's your typical supervillain musical. Yes. I went back to the Nathan Well because the Nathan Well is very deep. He's amazing playing Captain Hammer, the rather idiotic villain hero of the piece. And Neil Patrick Harris, I've never worked with before, but he's been a buddy for a while. And he's one of the best singers I know, maybe the best. So there was no way I was not going to ask, at least, for him to be in it. And he jumped on too. And Felicia, of course, from back in the Buffy days, and also a fellow internet artiste, because her show The Guild was one of the inspirations for DrHorrible. Madness.